Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you've all had a much better week than I've had, but that won't be very hard. I'll get back to that a little bit later. So, this morning we're talking about something that is so important and that I've often stressed, and that is self care. And we're going to be specifically kind of focusing on the importance of a good morning routine and how to implement one. So today I've got Lauren Kinghorn with me. Just remember, it's all opposite. So I'm actually pointing that way, but Lauren's on the other side.
That's correct.
And I've got Shelley from the Pay for Mompreneur podcast. So I've had Lauren here a number of times with me before in the past, and I've asked her to come online again a while back, and she said, I don't know what I'm doing. So great news. Lauren knows what she's doing, so she is here.
Oh, Lauren, please, you have to share. You have to share with the rest of us to figure out what we're doing.
No. You guys know what you're doing.
Okay, so I've got, let's just run up to the top. So here's a clue. You can win a coaching session with Lauren Kinghorn. Jump in the comments in the discussion while we are chatting, and you could win. So it is going to be, you can either have it in person if you are in the Cape Town area, or you can do it online from anywhere at all. So let's get into it. Like ladies, what is self-care? What is a good morning routine? Lauren, what have you got to share?
Okay, so a good morning routine for me is doing all the things you absolutely love to do. The stuff that feeds your mind, feeds your soul, the stuff that lights you up. And I know we are moms. So, I mean, you're going to look at me and you're going to say, hello, what I'm doing in the morning is I'm getting my kids ready for school. I'm getting them fed. I'm getting them off to school. And that's my morning routine. And then I've got to get to work if you're working at a job or, So I know the moms are going to shout me down. But I can promise you there is a way to start building in a morning routine, even as a mom. Thanks, Mom. Oh, my mom just arrived with some coffee. Yay! Because Lynn, there's a plane going over. Okay, Shelley, over to you.
Well, for me, self-care, and I think that's where self-care and the morning routine, I'm kind of yeesh. At the moment, my actual morning routine is really a bit fudgy. So I can totally relate to what Lauren's just said about being a mom, and I homeschool my kids. So I've found recently that I really have to focus in on getting them set up for the day. And when I get them set up for the day, my day goes a lot better. So self-care to me lately, I found a sort of definition of self-care from Kendra Adachi, from my latest favorite book that I recommend to everyone. Is called The Lazy Genius Way. And she says that self-care is any activity that you do that makes you feel like yourself, that makes you feel like you. And to your point, Lauren, of that it's something that you do that lights you up. And so, yeah, I've been on a bit of a journey to broaden my definition of what self-care is for me, so that in even almost the mundane things that I'm doing in life, that I can feel more like myself, that I do it in a way that feels more like myself. So if I'm cooking, then I want to cook in a way that feels like me and that is fun for me and that kind of plays to my strengths. And, so even if it's just cooking dinner, mundane weekly cooking dinner, how can I do that in a way that really makes me feel like me? And so that's why I've really tried to broaden my definition of self-care, but I do see the real importance of that morning routine of actually setting yourself up for the day to look after yourself. But I think that can kind of feature in the middle of the routine, in the middle of the more mundane things that you do in your life. But I think also, so I want Lauren's help on just, building a better morning routine. But I think what, for me, the self-care thing is, self-awareness is so important, is knowing what does light me up, what does make me feel like me, really getting curious about that, and then introducing that more into your life, But I'm finding I'm having to introduce those things like later in the day. So I don't know, like Lauren, like, do you think it's really important that it's in the morning? You know, like how important is the morning part of the morning routine for self-care?
That book you mentioned by
Kendra Adachi.
Kendra Adachi. I've just added that into the comments. So if anybody wants a link to that, wants to go check it out, it's there in the comments. Go grab it. Sorry.
Lace geniuses. I really need to be an affiliate of Kendra's.
Okay, so to answer your question, I think there are certain things you must do in the morning. Okay, so it is different for everybody. I totally agree. But if you don't do the things that make you feel positive and alive and grateful, then I think your day is going to go very differently. So for me, my day needs to start with gratitude. And this doesn't have to be a mission. Yes, it is a really good idea to instill a gratitude routine at the beginning where you write down at least 10 things you're grateful for every day and why. So it's, I am grateful for this beautiful home because it makes me feel safe, or whatever it is. Okay. So you write down what you're grateful for and why. Do it for at least a month, and then read through them as well. So I think, yes, gratitude is extremely important. Once you've done that for a month, when you wake up in the morning, it's really easy to wake up feeling grateful, because you wake up, you step your feet on the floor and you're grateful to get up. You're grateful that you can walk into a bathroom that has running water. You're grateful that you start to, you shift into this gratitude space where you start to feel grateful for every single thing. So I think that is an essential in a morning routine, and for everyone.
Lauren, I just want to build on that point, because I've actually got here on my list, and this is something I do morning and night, and that's it's included in my journaling, and part of that is gratitude. It's also part of my recovery program for addiction and mental health that I have. So what I've found is that when you write a gratitude list regularly, that shift you spoke about, what I've noticed for myself personally, and I've also sponsored a lot of people in addiction, and you go from the mindset of I'll be happy when to I am happy because
Exactly.
I don't know, like societies, everything is so materialistic, and everyone's got all these goals, and it's great to have goals. It's important to always be working towards something, but not to make yourself happy when you get it. You need to be happy with where you are, with what you have, and have an attitude of gratitude while still trying to achieve certain goals. But those goals don't define your happiness now.
Exactly. So if you do that gratitude journal at night, I mean, that's also fine, because you're going to wake up in the morning. All you have to do is glance over the things you wrote at nighttime if you don't have a lot of time in the morning. But I think it's really just important to have that consciousness. It's about becoming aware.
Yeah.
And so part of your morning routine is actually just shifting your focus and your awareness. So yes, the other things I have in my morning routine, like I said, everybody's going to be different, but I believe exercise needs to be there in some form or another. And this, again, people will say, well, there's no time. But for me, I know that my dog is going to be a nightmare for the rest of the day if I don't walk him. So I'm combining two things. I'm looking after one of the, people, animals in my life, one of my brood, at the same time as looking after my own self-care, because I'm doing the walk with him. He gets exercise, I get exercise, we get fresh air, it's out in nature. So that gives a whole lot of things. So I think getting out in nature is important. I think exercising is important, and I think looking after those you love is important, because we're moms, so obviously that goes without saying. So I can combine all of those in my drive to the school with my son, dog in the car. We stop somewhere on some beach. Okay, luckily we live in Cape Town. And then the dog gets a walk on the way home, and I miss the traffic on the way home. So there's, everything works in. So that's why I say everybody's morning routine is different. It has to fit into your life and your lifestyle. But if you really think about it, there are things you can do that you can tweak. so that your morning routine becomes a lot more positive maybe than it was before. Yes, I love to meditate every morning. And no, I don't get a chance to meditate every single morning or do an EFT session or something like that. But I think those are also really important things, just to shift into, again, that different peaceful state. Sometimes a meditation for me in the morning is I get to the end of my morning walk. And as I end the morning walk and I'm just about to step into the car, I just take 5 seconds to just experience the environment. So I'll just stop, breathe, listen, really deep listening, where I start to hear the sea and I start to hear the birds and I start to hear like everything, smell the environment, just actually just actually drop into myself for those 5 seconds. And that can shift me completely and turn my day around as well. So it can take, we think that it's going to take a long time, but actually shifting your focus can be very quick. Also, I could put on something amazing in the car while I'm doing the drive to and from school. I love to feed my mind in the car. So I'll listen to the radio if it's playing something positive. The moment an ad comes on, sorry for all those people who pay for the advertising, but the moment an ad or the news comes on, I will shift into something else. I'll phone my mom, or I will listen to something that I've downloaded from YouTube that will feed my mind. Either something, a little, breakthrough I can get in my business, or it'll be an EFT session, or I know, don't shoot me down for this, but sometimes I even listen to meditations in my car. I know, not the ones where you have to close your eyes.
Yeah. And not the ones I fall asleep when I listen to meditations.
But it's a different way. Yeah, I know. So far, so good. I've never had an accident listening to meditation in my car, but because I don't go completely like into self-hypnosis. But actually, if you know, when you're driving, you actually probably mostly are in self-hypnosis. You kind of don't even know how you got from A to B, right? But because you just do everything automatically. But yeah. So I'm feeding my mind in the drive to and from school. I mean, I'm driving to and from school 2 hours a day, if I think about it,
Sure.
And so those need to be those are a very important time for me to catch up on all the things I need to catch up on. It's not wasted time. Nothing. You as a mom, you cannot afford to waste a second.
But what I love that is you've incorporated self-care things that feed you and that make you. Like, I know you love like learning new things. You love like self-development and listening to podcasts, listening to YouTube videos. I know you like listening to YouTube videos. And like, you've incorporated that into your daily life. So it is self-care that is you, and it's making you feel more like you, and the stuff that you're choosing to do is actually making you feel more like you. And what I'm also hearing is how much you're getting into the present moment. To Lynn's point as well, it's like so often we're striving, we want this future something, and we feel like at some point in the future it's going to be amazing, but to actually just sit here and be here now and see the joy that you have here now, being in the present. I think it's just an amazing form of self-care, and so simple. It's just actually maybe even like it's so simple that like you actually don't even think it counts, but it really does, of getting into this present moment, and looking after me, who I am, not like, and I mean, it's lovely to have other people's morning routines and like, sort of copy a formula, but make it for you, make it work for you. And as you've illustrated, even with your busy morning, you can make it work for you. With my morning, as I say, I'm homeschooling, so like a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, like how do you fit it all in and everything like that. But we start like one of the things that makes me feel like me also is like I've gotten so nerdy about stuff, about learning stuff, and I've realized I actually really loved puzzles, and I've gotten into Wordle. Are you guys into Wordle? Like,
no, I've heard about it, but I haven't done it.
You need to do it.
I don't have enough time to figure it out.
I love it, and my kids love it. And so like the that for me is like self-care. Is to take a moment with my coffee, sit down there, do my Wordle, and we kind of almost start a bit of homeschooling, because it's actually quite amazing that it teaches my kids their spelling rules and that kind of thing incidentally. So it's a bit of self-care for the nerd in me. I need opportunities to nerd out. Like, I've realized this with my boys, you know, and also I need opportunities to do girly things in homeschool that the boys don't really want to do. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to do this little fluffy little lap book and like with folds and pretty pictures and stuff. And you know what? I'm just going to do it because I'm having fun with it. So it's like, don't be afraid to bring what lights you up into the things that seem like mundane. I'm saying the word mundane. It's not mundane. It's just the things, your job, you know, it could be your job, your parenting. Bring things that feel like you, and but yeah, into that. And I think there's just into that present moment, you know, into whatever it is you are doing. Bring those joyous, light you up kind of activities. Give it that slant. I think that then self-care doesn't even have to be one specific time. Self-care, like you were talking about the gratitude, it becomes an attitude. It becomes a way of life, looking after yourself and caring for yourself. So
I think that brings in something really important that I think we've all kind of touched on this. And I've got a comment here that just sums it up. And this is going to tie in beautifully with what Lauren is now going to be doing. Teresa, I don't even know who I am anymore, really. I have so been there. Now, so we were talking about that. Like, I work from home. My kids are at school now. So, yes, I've got to get them to school, but then I can come home. And that is where my routine starts. Lynn's routine, not my kids' mother's stuff, because I have to get their food. I've got to get their bags.
Mom.
I think this is huge, you know, and I think it's easy for me now. I don't have to go work at an office. I don't have to be there at a specific time. I can juggle my day in a way that fits me. But there was a time when I had a toddler and I had a newborn baby, and I wasn't a person. I was just a boob and a toddler mom, and it was all about when this kid needed to breastfeed, when I had to change a nappy, when I had to make a bottle and a cereal and a bath, and it's just and you know, so I get this. It's really hard. And one of the things that I have found so important for me, where things started turning, is where I said to my family and everybody and to myself, I'm going to find a moment of peace and quiet in every single day, where everybody must just stay the hell away from me. Not 3 hours or anything completely unrealistic, but a 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes where I can sit and I can drink my coffee without hearing any noise, without my mom or hanging on my pants or tugging at my boob or cold coffee. Hello. And I said, I'm going to drink 1 cup of coffee in peace and quiet without anybody disturbing me. And I made it clear to everybody, when, you know, so what I started doing is I started getting up really early and would sometimes give me about 20 minutes. So it's enough time to kind of brush my teeth, get the kettle going, get a cup of coffee, and sit with that. And it made such a difference in my day. And then one of the other things I did, I can't remember when it was, but everybody looked at me like I was completely batty because I'm at home with my husband and children. But all of you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, the look on my husband's face, he was just like, what the? There was one day when I stood up and I said, I'm going to go make a poo, and by God, I'm going to do it alone. I make a poo alone. That is the rule. I don't care what goes on in this house. When I go in there for a poo, I'm going alone. And my husband looked at me like I've lost the plot. He's like, so I said, I don't poo alone. Like, I deserve to be able to go and
sensitive to smells, Lynn. Nobody goes into the room when anybody else is pooing. Then our house, that is like a sacred time because nobody wants to be there except the dog. Actually, now there's a dog. I need
a sandwich. I'm like, well, bring me the bread. You know, what do you want me to do?
not even allowed to have a conversation, but that doesn't seem to apply to mom, but yeah, but maybe it's a little tip for moms, like that's your moment, like take your moment, like, and they say like a lot of social media happens on the toilet, so
it's funny that you talk about this though, because also there was a time when the household was so busy and everybody wanted a piece of me that the only time I got my quiet time to listen to my meditation was when I was picking up dog poo in the garden. I really take my time.
Yeah. I can imagine you going. Yeah, I can imagine you going, I'm so grateful for this dog poo. You're like,
I could probably drop into meditation, like Pavlov's dog. The minute I smell dog poo, I could probably just drop into a meditative state now. That was my time.
Another important thing, and I'm going to show you my green pepper. I am so proud. I made this.
Wow.
Oh, a green pepper. Wow.
But you don't know who you are anymore.
Now.
Find one thing that you love.
Yeah.
I mean, when you
one
become
small
a mom,
thing,
it's like your hobbies, your needs, your everything about Lynn just out the window. I love gardening. Now, I've got a garden here, but it's a rented place in the garden, and the owner's obsessed about their garden. So they've got their own gardener that comes in. We're not allowed to touch it. But I've gotten a whole stack of pots, and I've set up little tables on my stoop, and I've got all my pots, and I grow my own little things. And I like growing things that I can eat. So I've got spinach, I've got tomatoes, I've got green peppers. So I've just got some, and I've got herbs. So it's not a lot. But so one of my things that I do in the morning after I drop my kids off at school is I come and I water my garden. I pick anything I can pick. I prune what needs to be pruned. And this morning I picked my green pepper, and later I'm going to eat it all on my own while they're at school, because this is my green pepper.
I don't know if they'll be like jumping up to share, but that is, I am so impressed. I am so impressed. And because I love the idea also of starting small, of starting just with one thing that lights you up. And like, I know like Lauren mentioned doing exercise in the morning. And like, I've got a friend who danced, like she was a dancer, and she just dropped that when she had kids. And for so many of us, like we drop hobbies or things like that when we have kids. So go and look back to what you were doing before that, and can you incorporate that in? Like you can incorporate something that you love doing, like gardening, like dancing. You can incorporate that in as an element of your self-care routine, as your morning routine. And it's something, so it's not like just going for a run. So it's actually going like doing a dance class or maybe it's yoga lounge. Or yes, dance party. And yeah, I think it can be super simple, and actually make it really as simple as possible, so that if you do that activity, it's actually more of a mission to make an excuse not to do it than it is to just do it. So like make it super small. And like I think like even with the gratitude, Lauren, don't you think even if someone wants to write down one thing, write down one thing and why you're grateful for, start with that. And I bet you'll go, oh, I actually got a third thing, second, third. Oh, and before you know it, you'll be up to 10, So, and I think also just, this process of self-care and self-discovery of finding out who you are, it's a real journey. And I think the more you care for yourself, the more you find out about yourself, and the more you find out about yourself, the better you can care for yourself. So it's work. It takes work. It takes bravery, but it's so worth it. It
starts to become addictive. So like you said, you start small, and then you start with the one thing that you think, oh, I'd really love to do this, I miss doing this, and you start doing that. And then you'll find, oh, this really feels good, and I'm starting to feel really good. And, I am shifting. And then you start to incorporate something else, and then something else. And then next minute you realize, oh, you've got a fantastic morning routine. Where did that come from?
I point out though that I didn't find it work quite like that.
Okay.
Of course, everybody's different. But what I want to point out that I find really important is that when I first started doing self-care and incorporating into my day, like I start now with my bubble baths after my live video. When you guys are gone, I go have my bubble bath after on a Friday, because I love Fridays. And it's not because the weekend's coming and I've got kids home all week driving me batty. I love Fridays because I do my live on a Friday morning. I love my live videos. It really fills me up. Then after my live video, I go and I have a nice long bubble bath before I go fetch the kids. And this replenishes me and feeds me so that now I can go and I can get the shopping done and I get the kids home and I organize their Friday movie nights and make the burgers and make a breakfast on a Saturday morning and take my kids to a party. And so my weekend is very much family focused. So yes, while I sometimes do stuff that I want to do, it's very much focused on what do the kids want to do and where should I take them and where should we eat that's kid friendly. And so I fill myself up just before the week so that I've got something to keep me going. But when
that's your minimum.
I would sit there and think, okay, so I'm going to have a bubble bath in the middle of the day. Oh my God, my kids aren't home. I should be doing this. Well, I can fit it all in. I've got this hour, which can be so productive because my kids aren't here. And then I would have this bubble bath and I'm like, I should be washing the dishes. I should be cleaning the floor. I should be doing shopping before I fetch my kids so I don't have to struggle with them in the shop. I should. And then I get this feeling of guilt. So if that happens to you, just push through that, because I can tell you one thing. Very soon, you're going to be thinking, I can't wait to have my bubble bath. And you get in it and your brain just shuts down and you sink right in there and you get nice and relaxed and you enjoy it. But in the beginning, I struggled. I struggled with that mom guilt and that I should. So, yeah, I don't know if it always goes according to the way you said, Lauren, but there does come a time where you feel like I want to do more for me. I want to fill myself more.
Yeah, but that's what I love, like your bubble baths. I often quote that to people when I talk to them on the podcast and that kind of thing, of like starting small and like actually starting a little out there, a little crazy, not like something that you would think to do. But another thing that Kendra Adachi says in the Lazy Genius Way is that routines are an on-ramp up to something else. And your routine, your Friday routine, like doing your work in your business, doing this live, it's you being you. It's then you filling yourself up of like a moment or more than a moment, a beautiful hour. How long do you spend in the bath, Lynn? It's I love it. So, and you are ramping to the weekend, to being there and being mom, and you as you say, filling yourself up, but that routine is kind of an on-ramp going up to something else. The routine is something else. And I've also found with routines and self-care is like, don't think about it. It eliminates as much sort of mental fatigue out of the whole thing as possible. So like, I just know now on a Tuesday and Thursday, I do Pilates. I don't love it, but it's just like, but I do love it at the end of it. And I just like, we're just doing this. Don't think about it. It's scheduled. It's happening. And bullet journaling as well is another one that I do at night. And I've just gone, I just need to write 5 lines. And like I used to like try and make it all pretty and stuff, and then I didn't do it because it felt too big. But when it feels smaller and easier, I've gone, just do it. Just do your 5 lines. They can be in blue pen, just scribbled out, and it's easy, and then that's that's like when had that like knock-on effect. But I think it's a routine for ramping me up for the next day to do my thing, that's where that self comes in.
So the only thing I would question there about what you just said, sorry, Shirley, is you hate doing the Pilates. So then why are you doing it? I understand that you feel good at the end of it, but you could be doing something that you feel good during it and at the end of it.
Maybe hate is
that really lights you up.
Maybe I think hate is far too strong a word. Okay. It's more the I don't feel like doing it now. It's like, is it that? And I have this with my son of like, I don't feel like doing it. Like he obviously gets it from me. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's more like, I don't want to do it. And it's that sort of excuse. Like, but I would say even while I'm doing it, and I'm like, I am superwoman. I am so strong. It's just been so fun to like get stronger and stronger. but I have to almost remind myself. It's that just that moment before where like like for me, to know I'm always going to feel uncomfortable doing it, and maybe it's also like the mom guilt with self-care stuff of going. Prepare yourself. You're gonna feel guilty. You're gonna feel like, oh, I don't want to do this beforehand. But push through that, and the reward will present itself to you. But yeah, I agree, Lauren. Like I'm like, if you hate like running, or if you hate like doing like a certain exercise, change it up. Like do something you do enjoy.
I think that's very important, and I think also you mentioned something about setting a goal that's too big or something, then you kind of don't get to it, or you push it off. And I think that's very important when it comes to us moms with self-care, especially with the small babies. It's going to be so hard to start something that even takes 2 minutes. I totally get it. So don't set yourself a 1 hour goal, because you're going to fail. Start with something small, routine, get it to be a regular thing that you can maintain. And once you've got that and you're starting to enjoy it and it's filling you up a bit more, and then when you're ready, add something else small. Don't go for these huge sort of things to put in it, because you're going to fail. Well, not everybody. I failed.
Oh yeah, I do totally have these big grand dreams, and then and grand dreams are great, but look for where's the first domino you can start tipping over to get this whole
I'm not even a fan of goals. I'm not even a fan of goals. I don't even like the word goals. I think that this whole idea of striving, always having this other goal. I like the idea of dreams and visions and things that you do, you would like, but I think that living in the moment is so much more important than yes, you will edge closer and closer and closer to that big vision you have, and being the best version of yourself you can be, and all of that kind of stuff. But how about just trying to be the best version you can be right now, right now? And loving life. So I mean, the best version you can be is the happiest version you can be, right? It's not the one who is feeling like.
Lauren, I love it. I read an article. I don't know who wrote it, but I read it and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. I wish I had it now to add the link. I read it quite a while ago, but it was about achievements, and it's about we as humans are constantly pushing ourselves to achieve this, achieve that. We need to do so well. What the hell for? What? Like, why do you have to achieve all this stuff?
Exactly. I mean, did you know that story about the fisherman?
Talk about the pressure all the time. So I can't remember the article and exactly how it went, but it really was absolutely brilliant. But we've got such high expectations on ourselves to achieve all of these things. I mean, my goal is just, I want to be happy, and I want to live in the moment, and I want to be and be content. So I'm trying not to constantly achieve all the time anymore. I'm trying to just be more happy in each moment.
Yeah.
And that makes you a better mom as well, because if you're always striving and pushing so hard, then you're also pushing those ideas onto your kids. Like, you have to be striving. You've got to be good at every sport. You've got to be good at every academic. You've got to be great in academics, great in sports. You must be an all-rounder. You must do this. You must do that. And your kids feel it if you're pushing yourself hard. And so I think that it's, if you start to just forgive yourself and allow yourself to do the things that light you up, you also, it goes without saying that you now start allowing all the people around you to do what lights them up. And then they're going to have a happier life and a more enjoyable life. And all of you are going to be more relaxed. And your morning routine is going to look different, just for the fact that all of you are more relaxed, because you're not pushing from the moment you wake up in the morning. There's not this fight. I hear so many moms talk about this fight that they have in the morning, because they don't just allow their children to just be who they are, and also enjoy their morning before they go to school. It's already a push and a shove and And I understand there's stress, and I understand there's pressure, and there's a time that you've got to get them there if you're not homeschooling. If you're homeschooling, there's a different kind of pressure.
Yeah, but I love our unrushed mornings. That's like really part of my self-care is an unrushed morning. I just I totally agree, and I think there's so much pressure. There's pressure to complete the to-do list, and we need to actually go and look what was on the to-do list and what deserved to be there and what can actually just get next. And I think also just this idea of modeling for our children what good self-care is. Otherwise, you're like, my kid is so perfectionist. Why are they so perfectionist? Why are they so striving? Why are they so hard on themselves? Because they're looking at mom and dad. And I think modeling like self-care, and like for me, one of the things that I've been doing recently is reading for pleasure. Like in front of my kids, I'm trying to do like a midday like rest period where my oldest son is happy to listen to an audiobook. My youngest son, not so much. But I am choosing to read my book. That's like my midday bubble bath, and it feels like kind of like, whoa, just reading a fiction book in the middle of the day. Like this is so, it's not productive. It doesn't feel like, doesn't feel like it deserves time. But I found that's such a good modeling thing. And then like, honestly, academically and everything, there's so much benefit to reading aloud. So I read aloud to them, and I also catch them, let them catch me. They catch me reading. They catch me like actually reading my book rather than like being on my computer, say. But it's I think like so bring in any of those kinds of things that like if you enjoy reading like an experiment, go and see a few things and then model that for your kids. I think it's just so that's the way they learn. They don't learn through lectures, as I have realized.
It's all about, you're right, it is about modeling, and so who you are is who your children are. Feed off your energy. And we have a choice, if we want to live our life, happiest, most joyful life, that really spreads. It creates a ripple effect in your life around all those around you, and everybody gets the permission to also live a happier, most joyful, more peaceful, more engaged, more harmonious life. It's amazing how it has that ripple effect. So it starts with us, and the mom is the person who sets that up in the household.
100%.
They definitely set up the mood of the household. There's no doubt about it. I remember, my mom was always, when we were children and now, always the lightest, happiest, person, always into new things and very creative, whenever. If my mom was going through a hard time and having a bad mood or, feeling down, we all felt it. All of us, the whole household. I know how I felt when my mom was unhappy because we all struggled. And I mean, that's a lot of pressure on moms.
But I think permission sorry, Lauren, can I just quickly jump in there? Permission to moms to feel the feels, and then to explain that to your kids, to go, I'm going through a hard time. Like, and you can even give detail on what happened and why you're going through the hard time. But like, I'm feeling really frustrated right now. I'm feeling really hurt right now. And share that with your kids. And because I think it's also part of modeling to go, I'm this happy, light person, even when my circumstances are bad, even when life is giving me lemons. And share that journey with them. It's part of the modeling, I think, as well. Which is also
and they
brave.
Might even be helpful. Your children might be able to give you the gifts. Children know about play. Children know how to transmute energy from like one thing to another thing. They are so good at it. They can switch from crying in one instant to being happy and joyful in the next. So if you really want to get some good guidance on it, just be open with your children, and they can help you through it. Some children will come and they'll give you a hug, and that might make you feel better. And other children might just be, meh and like move on. But that might also be helpful to you.
Yeah.
But it's, Because we could get so in something and make mountains out of molehills. And children have an easier way of looking at things, like a softer way of looking at things.
Lauren, a conversation I had with my kids a while back, and it was quite interesting, is that I said to them, there's something I want to do, and I want you guys to leave me to do it. I want some peace and quiet. I mean, you can make a noise doing your thing over there, but I want to do my thing over there. And they're like, yeah, but we want you to take us here, and we want to do this. And I said to them, stop right there. I am a person too. I have my needs. I have my wants. I've got things that I want to do that make me happy. And I love you guys. And I've put all the focus so far in my life into everything you want to do. But right now, I'm a person too. And this
they can respect that.
Me happy. And they just kind of looked at me, and it kind of dawned on them like, this is not just a slave over here to bring food and lift to birthday parties and run bars and cook dinners and wash clothes. I'm like, there's another side to me. I'm a person. I'm not just your mom. And they were like, oh. I said, and as time goes by, I'm not going to need, you can do stuff for yourself. You can go into the kitchen and make your own sandwich. You can pour your own juice. Hell, you can wash your own clothes. And I am going to go outside and I'm going to water my garden and I'm going to pick my green pepper. Just 5 minutes. That's all I want to do. Leave me alone to go and pick my green pepper, because that is what I want to do right now. And it was quite and things have started changing, because they're starting to understand that actually mommy's not a robot. She doesn't just run on autopilot. She needs sleep. She needs fun, like her fun, not your fun, not the movie you want to watch. Something that's got an age restriction. So stay out of the room. And I think
so you're taking your power back.
I am. I'm slowly taking my power back. And I think it's time to announce the winner for your coaching session. And I'm going to go for the mom who doesn't know who she is anymore and doesn't even know where to start with self-care. So, Charissa,
Lauren's going to help you.
Is that Charissa?
With your email address so that I can connect you with Lauren. You have won a coaching session with Lauren, and I'm sure she's going to help you find who you are and get some self-care implemented. And then just Lauren, I want you to share Lauren. Lauren didn't know who she was, what she was doing. No, she knew who she was. She didn't know what she was doing. So she's recently revamped her website. I'm going to pop that link to the comments now. And if you want to, your calendar,
divine, Lauren. And I see your logo behind you. It looks divine. Is that your vision board?
It's not my vision board. It's kind of my brand strategy. So some of it is my brand photo guide. It's just a whole lot of things that came up with working with a brand strategist. It was amazing. Yeah. So
gorgeous. I love your logo.
So exciting. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So cool. We could thank Tammy Collins for that. She really just came up with the most brilliant stuff. I'm so excited.
Oh, yay.
Your calendar link, is that to book an appointment with you?
That is to book, yes. So the best place for Charissa to start with me is actually just to go on my Calendly, have a look at when I have a free gap, and then we can set up that appointment.
Perfect. So I'm popping your calendar link in now, and I've got, what else? Ooh.
So can people book a free call with you to have like a chat, Lauren?
Yes, they can. So just a 15-minute meet and greet. Just come have a chat with me, and then we take it from there and see if they want to work with me further, do anything else. Yeah.
Perfect. And then Lauren, I'm very interested in what you're doing right now. We haven't actually had a chance to discuss it too much.
I'll try and do it quick. I'll do a quick thing. So I've been an online publisher for the last 5 or 6 years. I've got a number of websites. Most people know me from Inspiring Mompreneurs, where I interview mom entrepreneurs. And over the time, I've been on a deep inner journey and worked through a lot of things and gone back to more of my healing work that I did a couple of decades ago. I was an aromatherapist, reflexologist. I did a lot of different healing modalities, as well as EFT, which is tapping. And I've now become a transformation coach, so I can bring in all of those modalities if necessary, everything I know, into helping people shift their perspectives and just opening them up to a different way and working through whatever really is bothering them. I have made a decision to make my niche, because it's been recommended that I have a niche, will be us, okay? Literally anyone between the age of 45 to 55 going through their midlife awakening. So what happens when you get to midlife is generally women have got a lot of things on the go. They've got the children, they've got their parents, they've got husbands, they've got jobs, they've got so much going on. They might even have empty nest. They could be dealing with menopause as well, and all of the bodily changes. They might be overweight. So there's so many different things somebody could go through when they are midlife, and one of them is that they start rediscovering themselves. And so that is where I really like to help. But I can help with any of those things, whatever is going on. And however your midlife awakening is presenting itself to you. One of the things I'm extremely passionate about is I went plant-based, whole food plant-based just over a year ago. I'm mostly vegan, not 100% vegan, but that has been amazing for me. And so I can definitely help people with health challenges as well. That's it in a nutshell.
I'm so excited for you, Lauren. I just want to say, I think this is it's such a cool niche for you, and I think it's just bringing in your strengths into the work that you do. You bring your light to help other people discover their light in the world, and I've done coaching before. I've been coached, and it really is such a transformative experience of somebody just holding up a mirror to you. So I just sort of say, if people are on the fence, they should just have a call with you and just see, because I think it's such a transformational process to have someone walk in that journey with you, and not saying, oh, you're doing this badly or you need to improve there, but it's actually someone holding up a mirror to go, okay, this is what I'm seeing, and how can we walk this journey together, and how can I support you together? And I think you are going to be so amazing, bringing in also all those all of your past experiences, which is so exciting to me as well. Your past,
I'm so excited about it as well, because coaching, is not about giving people answers. It's about helping them find their own answers. So it is exactly what you say. It's about shining a light and a mirror and just allowing them to come up with their own answers, because then they will be totally invested and committed to making any changes they might need to make.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I absolutely love that. So just a reminder, we've got 2 Swear journals to give away. This is your cue.
Do you want
Awesome.
Discussion. Yeah.
Are they going to ask questions, Lynn? And will you choose the winners? Because I haven't got the discussion open. I was worried it was going to lag our live here.
I'm more than happy to do that. That's
good. So Lynn's the one you need to bribe, everyone.
And then just on Lauren, I just wanted to share with you, I think it's quite amazing. When I was a kid or a teenager, I thought, you become an adult and then you are the person you are. But I've learned over the years that we're constantly changing. With every experience that happens, we become a new person. I'm not the same person I was a year ago, and I'm not the same person I was when I was 30. And I'm finding now, my 40s are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's the most, and it's quite funny when I was 20, it's 40, that's you're over the hill, you're heading towards 50. 50, you're nearly dead, life's
My
over.
mom's saying her 70s are the best. I have no idea what's coming.
Oh, it was in one of your posts, or it was in
Lauren
that 55 to 80 or something is a woman's best, happiest years. In fact, you said, I think
you're going to get
80
happier.
years
Over
old.
80. In your 80s is when you actually move into your happiest phase. The older you get, the happier you are. So just hold on tight. You're in for a fantastic one. My mom she's saying, yeah, she's laughing here extras because she's like,
Come on, Joe.
in my 70s, that's when I really came into
How are
it.
you loving it? Where's Mom? Is she not coming in?
Is your mom going to? Your mom wants to have a cameo appearance.
Say hello. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Hello.
Hello.
I'm having the time of my life.
Oh. There you hear it. That's fantastic. It's lovely to see you again. It's been a while.
Lunchtime.
Date this afternoon.
And she's having a massage now. Now she's going to massage, then date.
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember last year when I had my sciatica problems and my back went out, I went to Lauren for a massage, and it was the perfect timing because she offered me a massage for my birthday, which was in April last year. My back went out end of November, December, I think. And Lauren said to me, I owe you that massage. And I didn't even know she meant she would do the massage. I thought she was going to send me for a massage. And oh my word, I mean, it came at the perfect time. It was so soothing, so amazing. And yeah, it really set me back on the right path. So I'm very excited, Lauren, that for the change.
I also put my back out.
Yeah.
I put my back out. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you how. Okay, that's my secret.
I want to know all the details.
No. Certainly not live on Facebook.
No. That's cool.
So let's put that out so she can have a nice date.
Fantastic. So, Lauren, I'm really excited for the new path that you're going on. Bajal, I think it really suits you beautifully. And yeah, it's very exciting. And we're going to have you come back because when I said come live with me, you came to me with about 30 things you wanted to discuss in the video. And I'm like, we've got to stick to one thing. I mean, we can veer off. But
and then she invited me to add to it too.
No, I didn't actually. This was just done.
I'm totally Facebook live crashing, yeah.
No, I think we should always work together. It's so much fun.
Honestly, and I said this to both of you. I said, I'm so happy because after my week, which I'm going to talk about just now, I'm going to keep it clean for this bit. I've had a really, really bad week. My energy levels are actually so low. And I know Lauren and Shelley are so vibrant and energetic. And I'm like, you're going to help me keep the tone of my videos where they should be. So
I hope we delivered.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think, Lauren, I've shared your
Thank you.
Your stuff.
Thanks so much.
That's
Thank you, Liz. It's been so awesome. It's been so awesome to be here. And I hope that I'll go and look at the comments later. If there's any questions, I'll answer them. First, I need to get my mom right. Then I can look at the comments.
Okay. Cool. So you shared another link, which was about personality assessments and finding your strengths. So
yes, I just thought if that comes up, like that's just if you like needing some like what is it quantitative like input of like who am I, like what am I strong at. There's that VIA strength survey. I've done it. There's like 24 strengths that we all have as human beings, but you have like your top 5, which are like your ones where like you operating in your zone of genius when you're using those strengths. And like for me, it's creativity, curiosity, love of learning. It's all these things that fall in this wisdom category. And so I need to bring that into my self-care. And so that's why I'm bringing in reading and, but even bullet journaling and then music and bringing that into my self-care. So if people are like, oh, I don't know myself. I don't feel like I know what I want to do. Take a survey like that. Or, there's the Enneagram, there's Myers-Briggs, that can just give you some little insights to go, this is
Awesome.
where I'm charged up, you know, and then do your self-care according to that. And I talk about
started doing it this morning, Shelley. It looks like so much fun. I just didn't
yes,
get
it's
through it.
so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah, there's a few questions that analyze each aspect of you, but I think also focusing on your strengths is something that came up in our podcast, Lauren, that focusing rather on what is right than what is wrong. You know, focusing on your strengths and play those strengths and go, you know what, I am a creative person. Where can I bring more creativity into my life? How can I make my mundane things feel more creative? So yes, so if you want to listen to Lauren and my podcast, I have finally edited and published it on the Playful Mompreneur podcast. Lauren and I chatted, you guys, for 3 hours, and it was supposed to only be 1 hour at the most, and then edited down to like 40 minutes at the most. And so I've had to cut, but you know what? Lynn was no better. Lynn was no better because Lynn also got 3 episodes. So these 3 musketeers here, we will talk. We will talk.
Us ladies love to talk.
Quick interruption. Link
Yes.
to the podcast is in the comment. So go grab it. You can go check out all Shelley's podcasts over there. Awesome.
Yes. There'll be all of them. So Lauren's one is the latest ones, and if you scroll down, you'll see the ones with Lynn as well, a little bit earlier in the history. There's a whole little podcast feed thing. So yeah, I also interview mompreneurs, ask them how they're doing this because we have a big job. So yeah, it's been such a exciting it's an exciting journey to find out how we can be mompreneurs, be business owners, be mothers in a more playful way, because I think we just take things too seriously. We idolize the productivity, we idolize everyone else, we put everyone else first. And I really do believe that by having a playful mindset about business and about life, it feels lighter, it feels more like you just are a little bit more detached from all those goals and outcomes and strivings, and it really does bring you into the moment when you are playful. So I love playfulness. And yes, I've got some, also I'm in that stage of planning season 2 of the podcast, which I think will be a little bit more of solo shows. I'm hoping to batch record a bunch of podcasts and then sort of drip feed them out to try and just buy myself a bit of time and space. And because I feel like I've got so much to say, so I want to almost book a whole day, say it all, and then I'll break it up into lots of different podcasts on how to be playful, how to run a business, and then how to parent more, just be more present parent, respectful parent, just like enjoy your kids and enjoy life and be more happy as well. So that's why I get on with Lynn and Lauren so well, because I think that's so much about what your mission is here too. So it's been so fun to chat to you guys.
Awesome. So I've got somebody over here, Janet Graham. Janet, I'm giving you one of the journals. She says self-time is so important, but it's difficult when you have to take care of so many in a household. And her only quiet time is from 12:30 to early hours of the morning. But she's an insomniac, so it helps tremendously. But for business, it sucks because she can't market at that time, but she gets her creative ideas. So Janet, give me a message in my inbox with your email address so that I can hook you up with Shelley. But also, I just, as an online marketer, I wonder why you can't market at that time. I mean, I don't know what sort of.
If you're only marketing, if you're marketing globally, you absolutely can. Yeah, well, but maybe she means she can't make noise. Like she can't. Maybe she means she can't make noise because she's going to wake up the rest of the household at that time.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're doing it, if you're marketing your business and if it's about social media and it's about emails, I mean, you can do everything at that time of night. You can schedule everything. You can schedule all your emails. You can schedule all your posts, everything. I don't sit on Facebook at 12:30 every night or it's 1 o'clock in the morning when the Midnight Mommy Club post goes up. I'm sleeping. I'm on meds. I'm out.
Good time for America, though. It's daytime. Yeah.
So I think this is a very important thing about moms working, is that there is a way to figure it out and to work at a time that suits you. It's just about kind of figuring it out and getting creative. So yeah, I'm quite interested. I'm always like love the online marketing stuff. So I just picked that out of the comment. And then cool. And I've got Jordan Peter. I'm going to give you one of the Shwe Shwe journals. So please inbox me and I will get that organized for you.
Cool.
Awesome. Shelly, do you just want to, you have kind of, we've spoken a bit about, you know, your podcast and what you're doing. Is there any specific link or something that you want to share with anybody before we finish off this?
Well, hop onto playfulmompreneur.com. So it's playfulmompreneur.com. It'll be in the comments. Thanks, Lynn. And that's like kind of my overall podcast page. And I have a copywriting business, ShellySmithCreative.com, where I do some website design and copywriting for people who are selling digital products or coaching services like Lauren is. So there's ShellySmithCreative.com. And that's my kind of bread and butter business. And then Playful Mompreneur is my passion project, and that's like where that's how I'd also like to bring in a little bit more about reading aloud, about a little bit of homeschooling stuff that I'm learning along the way, that I feel that also any moms, even if your kids are at school, can benefit from of home education. You know, I think schooling is changing so much at the moment, and the role of parents in education is changing too. So I think, I'll be sharing like on those kinds of things on the Playful Mompreneur podcast. So please subscribe to the Playful Mompreneur podcast. So wherever you listen to podcasts, if it's on Google Podcasts, I've got an app called Overcast that you can get on the Apple iPhone, or if it's an Apple app, Apple Podcasts, just make sure you subscribed, and then it just automatically will come and like download the next episode as I publish the next episode. And then on the playfulmompreneur.com, just playfulmompreneur.com, you can go and subscribe to my newsletter. And there I usually do send an email to remind you that there is a new podcast episode. But if you want to just circumvent me and my list of to-dos, go just subscribe to the podcast, and it just automatically appears in your podcast player, and then you can come and listen to what latest advice I have for you, and like insights that I've got on this journey of trying to be more playful, because I think as adults we tend to be really serious. We tend to be to fit into these like, I have to do this, I should do this, I must do this, and playfulness is so much more fun, and it's a different wiring. We've got to rewire our brains to think playfully. So that's sharing all my tips and tricks on the journey you'll hear about on the podcast. So yeah, thanks, Lynn.
Oh, but I love that, because it's kind of like what I do. I work flat stick Monday to Thursday, and then Friday I do my video.
I love it. Yes.
Playing, my fun, my relaxed sort of,
yeah. And I love that you've created space for that. And I think you mentioned that as well. Like you can design your life to make space for those self-care moments, or just those moments that light you up, the things that you want to just do. You don't want to monetize it necessarily. You just want to do it because you love doing it and it lights you up. Ways and means of getting very clever and making space for that, because you deserve it. Everybody deserves to, and that we actually everyone needs to bring their light into the world. So let's make space for you to be you.
100%. Awesome. So ladies, thank you so much. I have absolutely loved it. Thank you for bringing the vibrance to my Friday video when I'm feeling low.
I hope you
welcome to hang on. I'm going to be talking about my week, which is going to be, I don't know if anybody else has been following on Instagram what's been going on, but whoa.
I'm not going to be able to stay on, Lynn. I need to move on. Have a beautiful day, guys.
Yes, you too, Lauren. Lynn, I hope you are feeling better very soon. Glad to already see you are looking more vibrant.
Yeah, you look fantastic.
What's up, ladies? Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Lynn. Cheers, Lauren. Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Awesome. So, ladies, let's just find where's my banners. I gotta find my stuff now, quick. Hide that. Okay, my next competition is win a 250 Rand Checkers digital voucher. So here's my week. I have done no work this week. I've done nothing this week but poo. I got on Saturday night, I started with a tummy bug that was absolutely brutal. I don't know if anybody else has had this bug. I know a few people contacted me on Instagram and said that they've really, really been struggling with it. So on Saturday afternoon, I thought I just had a bit of a runny tummy. By Saturday evening, I knew I'm in trouble. And I have been crapping in my pants. Like there's been no control. And I mean zero control. Don't sniff, don't sneeze, don't cough, don't hiccup. Don't make any funny movements because it's just like wherever you are. And I've been messing in my pants, waking up continuously throughout the night with accidents and having to have a shower. And it has been absolutely horrific. So I was supposed to go to the dentist on, I think it was Tuesday morning. I had to cancel that because I couldn't open my mouth. And I was supposed to go to Connecting the Dots, the mental health film screening. I was going to go with Zarina Matthews, who's a blogger, Judy from Fun Mama, and Florencia from Barely Parenting. And I had to cancel that because I couldn't leave the house. So it started on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon. And every single time I've had a tummy bug, it's lasted for a total of 24 hours maximum from start to finish. And then by 24 hours, I'm usually able to eat a bit and kind of gather my strength. But I'm still going to the toilet and it's Friday. So it is almost a full week. And it's been really, really brutal. So yesterday I was able to actually leave the house for the first time. I went to fetch my kids from school and I shot into the shops to get just some food for supper and for lunches for school today. And it was a really quick outing. The difference that was on Wednesday. And then yesterday, I left to fetch my kids from school. The difference being I did it without fear. And then, when was it? Not last night, the night before. I slept the whole night through without missing. And I woke up in my own time without being woken up with tummy cramps. And I went half an hour before I had to go to the toilet. By Wednesday, I had lost 5 kilos. And I think it was on Monday night. I got my husband to bring me some Pictrolite. By Tuesday, I drank the whole bottle. And then he bought me another bottle. And this one is almost finished. But yeah, Monday night, I got such a high temperature and I started sweating and getting hot and cold chills. And I was shaking. And my temperature went up to 39.6. And thankfully, I've got COVID tests at home. I thought maybe I've got COVID. I took a test. It was negative. My cousin from UK, she's a home carer. She bought me a pack of home tests. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure so that I don't spread this thing around. But it has been an absolutely horrific week. I have not been able to look at a screen. I have not been able to eat. I have done nothing but crap myself the whole week. So anyway, if anybody gets a tummy bug, or maybe even if you don't, I know this bug is going around. My neighbors also had it. So I recommend you stock up on toilet paper. I've gone through 3 rolls a day. And stock up on some meds that you and the kids can take. So I didn't get Imodium. I got Pictrolite because this is suitable for kids and adults. So I thought if my children get sick, we can share the meds. And if you need to fart or sneeze or cough or anything, just do it sitting on a toilet if you get this bug, because otherwise it's going to be a really, really big problem. yeah, it's been really brutal. It's been really hard to get my strength back. I've been drinking those rehydrate sachets that you get, which is specifically formulated for tummy bugs. So it kind of puts all the electrolytes back in your system. But yeah, it's been, Megan says bananas and the blue energy works as well. So, so I'll tell you, on Instagram, I put a photo up of me in the bath. That was on Wednesday. I finally felt safe enough to get in the bath, and I had a lovely bubble bath, and I bought Jade. And no, that wasn't Wednesday, that was Tuesday. So I got in the bath and I was drinking my bright orange Jade. And yeah, clearly I got too relaxed in the bath. And if you know what I mean, I had to get out really, really fast. But that Jade went through my system in 20 minutes flat, and it came out the exact color and consistency as it went in. So I stopped the Jade and I switched to flat Coke instead. It was this week it's been absolutely horrific. So I've now started I can eat a little bit, and my tummy's runny, but I'm not running for the toilet, if that makes sense. So I don't have to run, and there's no like embarrassing accidents or anything. So I'm very grateful I'm able to do my live video today. I wouldn't want to do it while having to jump up and run the whole time to go get changed and have a shower and come sit back here. That would be really, really bad. But I mean, it's like everything about it. Like my butt feels like I have sandpapered it because I've been pooping so much, and because it's just so acidic, and it's been absolutely awful. So this is actually I've got somebody say Petrolite worked quite well, Tanya. Yeah, I did turn a bit of a corner from the time I took this. The difference is that I didn't tuck in my pants so much. So this definitely did work. And in fact, the thing is, when I get a tummy bug, I usually don't even take meds. I just let it run itself through. But this time I couldn't. And it actually got so bad that I nearly went to the hospital the one night. So, really, really, absolutely bad. So, yeah, watch out for this tummy bug. And I mean, I worry about, like, we've got a double-story house. We've got a loft upstairs, which is where my office is, and I've got a bathroom upstairs here. And then downstairs, we've got our bedrooms and a bathroom and our main living areas. So the whole week, I do have a bed in my office. So it's like an office stroke spare room. So I've spent the whole week upstairs, and I've told my family they're not allowed up here. They're not allowed to use my bathroom because it's like the bug bathroom. And I've kept them downstairs, and I've ordered food from Checkers 60. Thank you, Checkers 60. So then my kids can go fetch the food and they can unpack it. And then my husband's bride every night for the children. So, I've managed to keep it very separated. So thankfully they didn't catch it. But I mean, if my kids went through what I went through, it would be probably really serious. And I've heard there's been a few children hospitalized. I know of a couple of my husband's cousin. She's pregnant. She was hospitalized with this bug. To look after the baby and make sure her pregnancy is okay. So I don't have much to report on this week other than that, because I've done no work and I've done nothing but poo. So let me see. Tanya, you've puked and also had diarrhea. Yeah, I puked a few times on, I think it was Sunday, but thankfully that didn't go on too long, because I detest puking as well. It's really, really awful. Karen, it makes a person feel sick. My baby had it as well and had sleepless nights. I'm so sorry. I'm just so grateful that my kids and my husband don't have it as well, because I might not be clapping myself all the time now, but my energy, my strength, my motivation, everything is absolutely zero. So talking about self-care, I'm going to go have my bubble bath after this. I'm hoping it works out better than the one I had earlier on this week. So Raya, you also had that bug. Tanya, it's a horrible feeling when you have a bug. Yeah, 100%. And I'm just so grateful my kids are older and they can look after themselves mostly. Because if I had to have, been looking after younger children now, I don't think I would have made it. Yeah, totally. This bug is going all over the place. Karen, you ended up at Red Cross with a baby because of the bug. Yeah, I mean, kids getting it, this wouldn't be a joke. So, I mean, it was a really highly effective weight loss program, but I wouldn't recommend it on anyone. And thankfully, I'm now eating a bit, so I've put on almost a kilo now. But yeah, by Wednesday, I had lost 5 kilos. Janet, I must say you went through a crappy week, but boy, you know how to make us laugh. Look, if I don't laugh about the experience, I mean, yeah, it was truly horrific. So yeah, you can all have a good laugh at my expense, but I can tell you, if you get this, it's absolutely rotten. So good luck to anybody that has it. I recommend that since it's going around, make sure your cupboards are stocked up with a bit of medication and stuff to keep your electrolytes going and all of that. Let's see what else. Oh, don't forget to go to my Instagram and follow, like, share, just engage with me. It would be really fantastic. I'll pop my link over there. We've got Raya that's just given where are you, Raya? 1 liter water, half teaspoon salt, and 6 teaspoons sugar. And that is the homemade recipe for getting your electrolytes back. Melissa, so what food should you eat if you have a tummy bug? That can help. Okay, so there was no eating. I didn't eat from Saturday until Wednesday, and I'm talking not a bite of food. I couldn't stomach a thing. All I could take in was liquids. And then what you can eat is, for tummy bugs, it's the brat. B for banana, R for rice. I think it's rice water. A is apple, grated apple that you let go brown. And then T, brat, toast. Thank you, Megan. Whoop, toast. So that's what you should start off eating. So yeah, I started off with a bit of banana and then a bit of apple. And I've been able to eat a little bit of, what did I have last night? We had a bit of stew. No, that was the night before. We had a bit of stew. So yeah, and very small amounts and little bits, just little bits, and yeah, stick to the bread. So anyway, I'm going to spend this weekend getting my strength back. My newsletter that's going to go out is going to be pretty empty of posts because I've barely published anything this week. Maybe I'll be able to publish something over the weekend just to add something to my newsletter. We have some people saying soups are good. Chishamiso is saying soups. And Jordan also saying soups are good. Karen, praying for everybody. Yeah, it's brutal. I've been hearing so many people are going down with this, and I'm just so grateful that I'm now on. I mean, I'm not well, not by a long shot, but I have turned a corner and I'm on the recovery side, which is really, really great. Yeah, Rhea, no food, only weak tea and dry toast. Yeah, I did 4 days, like not a bite to eat for those 4 days. I wasn't hungry and I couldn't get food in, even if I tried. So yeah. Anyway, I want to remind everybody about Snap and Save. So you can get cash back on your shopping. Snap and Save is an app that has offers. So you go into the app and Jordan, how did you manage cooking for the kids? I didn't. I could barely stand. And if I did stand, I would cook myself. So the Sunday night we had takeaways. Monday night, my husband bride. Tuesday night, my husband bride. Wednesday night, like I say, I quickly went out to the shop and I bought a pre-made stew from Spar, so I didn't cook. And then last night, for the first time, I cooked spaghetti bolognese. So I didn't cook for nearly a week because I couldn't. My husband had to step in there and do that. So no, there was just, I couldn't get a thing done, like nothing. My sister-in-law did the lifting of the kids to school and back. and my husband did all the cooking. And then for shopping, I used Checkers 60, and my husband fetched meds for me from the pharmacy. I couldn't leave the house. I mean, I could barely step out of the bathroom, never mind get in my car and take a walk anywhere. So, Karen, I'm a strong woman. Yeah, I mean, if you don't, Jordan's saying it's always good to have a partner and a backup. Yeah, I'm very grateful because, yeah, I definitely, single moms, I don't know what a single mom would have done that doesn't have someone that can lift kids as well. Like my sister-in-law lives down the road, and we already have a lift club. So all I had to do is say, like, you do this week, I'll do next week kind of thing. Yeah, so I was very grateful for that help because I would have not made it. So anyway, back to Snap and Save. Snap and Save is an app, and they have offers. So you go in there, you see what offers are available, and they've got, I mean, it's everyday purchases. So it's things like there's bread, there's eggs, there's milk, there's diapers, and it changes all the time. And it'll show there what offers are available and how much cash back you can get on each one. And you book the offers, and then you go do your shop, you come back, you submit your till slip, and you get cash back. So it's really, really cool. You can sign up over there using my link or my coupon code. I have made back, I think so far, it's been just over a month, and I have made back 175 bucks, I think. And I've got 75 Rand I can cash out now. So they cash out to your bank account, which is really, really cool. You can read my review and you can enter the competitions. I'll just start now with the competitions on my website. Got a number of giveaways. So the first one I'm going to pop in here. If you want to know more about the app, you can go to my review on my website, and you can also enter to win a 500 Rand cashback prize to your Snap and Save wallet. So go check that out. It's really, really fantastic. The other giveaway I've got is you can win a Rookie USA hamper, 2,500 Rand. Jordan, can we only win once? I don't know what you are referring to because I have the live competitions. I have competitions on my website as well. So, no, you can always enter competitions. You can always win again. So that's not going to disqualify you from a future competition, whether it's live or on my website. I randomly pick winners. So is there a time frame before another win? No, it's kind of like the lotto. So you can win the lotto this week. You can win the lotto next week. It's just, yeah. So you can enter again. There's no time limit. It's just like that. Cool. So I've added the link to win a Rookie USA hamper to the value of 2,500 Rand. So go and check that out. And then you can also win a 500 Rand P&A voucher on my website. Boom. That's in the links now. And then, oh dear, where's mine? There's still another competition that I don't have here on my list of things to add in. Let me just go find it quickly. Is it still open? Because it's a really cool competition. Let me just check my date here. Have I forgotten to close this one? Oh, no, it ends on the 28th of February. So you guys have got a few more days to enter this one. I'm just going to pop the link in. That's to win a Harder Labo Tokyo prize. And that is an amazing skincare range. It is super hydrating, especially for older people like me that are starting to get serious wrinkles in their 40s. It's a beautiful, beautiful range. So those are all my competitions. And then I'm just going to quickly pop on Y-Sense. Okay, so if you've been following everything, you'll know that I make money through online surveys and playing games, offers, and referring others. If anybody wants to know how to make money with Y-Sense, I'm going to just pop the review into the comments over here. So that's a review. That's going to explain to you exactly how you can make money through Ysense, what you should avoid, because there's some stuff that I don't really recommend that you try, how to cash out, which cash out methods, and the pros and cons of each cash out method as well, and also a specific cash out method to avoid, not because Ysense is dodged, but because I used that payment processor once and they screwed me of like 3/4 of my money and wouldn't even tell me why. So we've got Tanya that's made $76 from Ysense. Her goal was 80, but she wasn't on it as much this week. Yeah, I was hardly on on Ysense this week because I was on the toilet. So my earnings are not as high as I wanted either, but sometimes shit happens. And it happened to me a lot this week. So yeah. And then I just want to add this link into the comments. So like I said, there's certain things that I recommend you try on Ysense, and there's some that's not so hot. So this post that I'm sharing now specifically shares the things that I do to increase my earnings that have helped me make more money on Ysense. So check that out. And oh, I don't have a link. Where's my link? I'm not as prepared today as I usually am because, well, I had a bad week. And here's the link to directly sign up if you just want to sign up directly. And then, of course, if you need any help with anything, just let me know. If you are confused on Ysense, just inbox me on my page or my profile on Facebook or wherever you find me. And yeah, if you just have any questions or you're struggling with something, I've had a lot of people contact me and ask me where to find the games on the app, which surveys to do, what to do in the offers, etc., and how to cash out. So yeah, if you are not too sure what to do, just let me know. And then just on the side of somebody who asked, Jordan, I think you asked, yeah, Jordan asked about winning the competitions. I do have some people complaining to me that some people win more than once. And I am sorry about that, but I don't disqualify somebody from entering competitions just because they've won one. It is open to everybody. And yes, you can win again. And yes, people have won more than once. And sometimes, especially in the live videos, because the videos, sorry, the competitions on my website will have thousands of entries, but my live videos, there's often more chance of winning because there's not as many viewers it's a short period of time. The competitions on my website run over a month. So often winners will be repeated in the live videos. And I often get complaints about this from other people that they see so many names that are repeated on my website, you know, on the winners listings. And that's just the way it is. Yeah, sorry. Cool. So let's see. I've got to choose a winner. Has anybody got any questions about Ysense surveys? Oh, here we go, Raya. You're keeping logged out of the surveys. Yeah, if you read my post where I shared the link earlier on, which is how to earn more money with Ysense surveys, you'll see that it's a pain in the ass, especially in the beginning. So when you sign up to Ysense, you sign up, you're a new member, you haven't completed any surveys yet. And what happens is, as you do manage to complete surveys, your trust factor goes up and more surveys will become available for you, and you'll be more likely to qualify for surveys. So there's a trust factor involved, but it's a catch-22 situation. So you can't, you struggle to get a survey completed because you don't yet have a trust factor, and you can't get a trust factor because you haven't completed any surveys. But if you stick with it and you just kind of be like a dog with a bone in the beginning, you'll find that from the time you complete your first survey, you'll find that it does get easier and easier to complete the surveys. So it is a pain in the beginning, but I do recommend, if you want to earn through Ysense, that you stick it out for a while. Yeah, it is one of those things. So we've got Tanya saying, oops, make sure you are consistent. and her quality score is now 129, which is fantastic. I think mine is 131. You can't always see your trust factor, but on some surveys, as you click into the survey, you'll see your trust factor come up at the top of the screen, and it'll disappear as you start doing the survey. So yeah, it is something that happens. Karen, you're going to start with YSense this week. Yay! Awesome. Don't forget to use my link. It's one of the ways that I earn. Fantastic. And just let me know if you have any questions or any difficulties that you encounter. And Tanya says, especially being consistent with the answers. And this is absolutely vital. So what happens when there's a way to earn online? Some people try and game the system. So when a survey becomes available, don't answer according to what you think they want you to say to get into the survey. Always, always, always answer with absolute honesty, even if you don't get into the survey, because the thing is that there are real companies behind each survey. So it's real companies wanting to find out what real people think about their product and their services or logos or whatever it is. And if you're going to give one answer in one survey and a different answer in another survey, they track this, and your quality score will go down. And then you might even be blocked from YSense, and you will start qualifying for less surveys because your trust factor is not good. So that is something that's really, really vitally important. Shamiso, how do you cash out your earnings when using YSense? Do I need PayPal? So that's all covered in great depth in my review. The link I gave that earlier on in the comments. But to answer your question, so there are a number of ways to cash out via YSense. So when you start earning on YSense, you'll see your balance come up. And once you reach $10, you can cash out via PayPal. You need $52 in your balance to be able to cash out via Payoneer, and you can cash out from $5 to Amazon gift card. And there are some other payment processes there, but I think they are applicable to other countries. I think there's some France thing over there, so obviously we can't use that. There's also one called Skrill, and please, please, please don't use Skrill. I used Skrill once, and when I cashed my money out from Skrill to my bank account, they took 3/4 of my money. I only received like 1/4 of it. And when I asked them, like, where's my money? They said fees are deducted. I mean, fees are always deducted, whether you use Payoneer or PayPal or whatever. But, they take a minimal amount. There's like a fee. It's not like 3/4 of your money. And they wouldn't answer any more of my questions. So that really upset me. And I don't know if that was a once-off mistake that was made, or if it's something they do regularly. But just, I share my experiences, what happened to me, and that's what happened to me. So please don't make the mistake of trying them. Rather, I've been using Payoneer, PayPal, and Amazon gift card since 2015, and never a problem. But Skrill I've only used once, and they just took all my money, which is like, don't do that. So just take note, if you're going to use PayPal, you can only connect PayPal to an F&B bank account. F&B, as I understand it, they offer there's like I think it's in my review, you can have like some sort of transact accounts set up purely just to withdraw your funds, and then you can send that to another bank in South Africa, transferred. But if you've got Payoneer, you can cash that out to any bank account in South Africa. I really love Payoneer. They cash out quicker to my bank account. I think they charge less. It's easier to use overall. So I like it. But of course, you need to build up to $52 before you can cash out, which is not viable for a lot of people, especially when you first start with YSense. The earnings are slow in the beginning. So you just need to kind of weigh up what you want to do. If you want to be able to cash out $10 at a time as soon as you earn it, PayPal is definitely the way to go. If you want to wait until it builds up bigger and cash out to any bank account, then Payoneer would be my recommendation. So Janet, I just want to thank you for replying to my email and giving me insight to the email. Oh, that was you. Hey, cool. Fantastic. not everyone replies to our emails, which is frustrating. Yes, I reply to every email. It's just sometimes not very fast. So, and this week I think I took a while to reply to your email, but I was probably sitting on the toilet for a long time. So yeah, that was about the email marketing with Flowdesk and MailChimp, etc. Yeah. Fantastic. Let me know if you have any more questions on that. I'm happy to answer and let you know. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit, and I've been using Flowdesk for a while. And like I say, I've used Aweber, I've used MailChimp, I've used SendPulse. So yeah, fantastic. You don't usually qualify on YSense. Look, like I say, it is tough in the beginning. And the thing is, because there are real companies behind the surveys, they're always looking for a specific group of people. So a lot of it is also luck. So for example, if it's a pet food company looking for something, I don't have any pets. Well, my cats are on my parents' farm, but I don't have any pets in our household. So, I'll get screened out of that. Some of them are only looking for women that are like pregnant, breastfeeding, or planning a baby, and I'm done with all of that. So I'll get screened out of those. So yes, when you answer the questions, you are often going to get screened out purely on the fact that you're not the target audience that they're looking for. So it could be an age thing, it could be a race thing, it could be a male-female thing. You just don't know what it's going to be. So you're not going to qualify for every single survey anyway. And in the beginning, you're going to find it harder to get into surveys because you're a newbie. So yeah. And yeah, Tanya also says, watch out because sometimes there are trick questions too. They do add in control questions quite regularly. So make sure you don't rush to the survey and miss that, because sometimes they'll ask you a question and then small underneath it'll say, this is a control question. Please read carefully and choose number 3, for example. So my number 3 might not be what the question's answering. Number 3 might not be your normal answer, but they say pick number 3. So there's a lot of control questions. So make sure that you read that and follow that. So yeah. Awesome. Cool. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to check. Lee Wagner, you have won the 250 Rand Checkers virtual voucher, digital voucher. Please pop me an inbox and I will get back to you as soon as possible with your voucher. Take note, I'm feeling very weak, very tired. I need to have my bubble bath and then fetch my kids, and I got to go shopping and get ready for the weekend. So I'm not going to be replying to messages very quickly right now. It might only be Monday morning, but please pop me an inbox message with your email address, and then I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I wish you all a fantastic weekend. I hope that you all stay very, very safe from this absolutely brutal bug, and I will catch up with you next week. Cool.